Hello, 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 and welcome to the Nostalgic Summer Memories video series. And we are in video number 1, and we're going to be talking about journals and creative stations. And I just wanted to take a moment to really say thank you for joining. I do hope that you are inspired to create and maybe take a trip down memory lane and document some of your stories. If not, maybe document some of your kids' stories or some of your grandkids' stories. This really is an opportunity just to kind of have fun and think about your summers of summer past and get those on paper. And so let's go ahead and get started. I posted this yesterday. This is kind of just a little, I guess they call this housekeeping or whatever, but this is just a supply list that I posted last night. It was kind of late last night. My family, it's been a little crazy around here lately with the summer and the heat and the snakes. That's all I'm going to say. Snakes. Y'all, chickens and snakes. They don't get along, but the snakes like the chicken eggs. So we've had quite an adventure this last few days around here. So, but anyway, this one, I basically included a list of things that I'm going to be using. I am really using my stash. I'm using things that I have on hand. The only thing that I did purchase was some printables, and I'll show you guys those in just a little bit. But and I included the shops, and I purchased on Etsy, so that gives you an idea of basically what I'm going to be using. The other little handout that I had was basically the video series of what I'm planning on showing from day to day. I am using Senses to do my documentation. And how that came about was during this quarantine time, I was able to go through a bunch of old photos, and it really did bring back a lot of memories of summer. I think being at home with summer approaching, I think that also kind of created some, stirred some memories in me. You know, me and my sisters, we had so much fun growing up. At the time, you know, we didn't do a whole lot of things because, I mean, I didn't feel like we did a whole lot of things because, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of money. Both my parents worked. But let me tell you what, looking back on some of the adventures that we went on, they really made, they were fun. I mean, my parents, my grandparents, they were little adventurers and outdoorsies. And so that we did have a lot of fun. And so I really wanted to document a lot of that. The other thing is I also included yesterday in the printable is just this printout, and I'll show you how I've used these. I've cut these out, and I've kind of wrote different things out for each, kind of an outline for each photo, so that when I do go to journal, I will have some key points that I want to mention in those. But I'll show you exactly how I use this page. So basically, I wanted to use up some of the things that I had, and I thought about using a traveler's notebook because that is how I document my everyday. But then I ran across this adorable little Raggedy Ann and Andy, and these two characters, especially Raggedy Ann, played a big part in my childhood because I love Raggedy Ann, and I have dolls still from my childhood of her. And Brazos isn't too crazy about them, y'all. I was really surprised because she's like, they're kind of creepy. And we went to a couple antique shops over the weekend, and they too had some Raggedy Anns, and she was just like, and I'm like, they are adorable. But Coraline, if you guys haven't seen that movie, I think they kind of ruined it for them because they have the little button eyes, but that's what she says. Anyway, but this one, what inspired me about this one too, it is a circus theme, and I thought, oh, that would be so cute, because we did go to the circus as kids. I don't know if it was actually during the summer, but we loved the circus. Of course, the carnival was fun too, and so they always kind of went hand in hand, which I don't think they do that now. At least down here in Texas, they don't. But anyway, I did include some little ribbon on the side because it's just cute. I want to get some red and white striped ribbon or pink and white stripe to add to it. But I'm probably going to, I know I'm going to take these off because I can't open my book to work in it. But just for now, I thought it was cute and fun and pretty to add these to there. But again, I'll be taking those off while I work in them. And you'll see that throughout this series. But just to kind of give you an idea, now I reconstructed this book. I did add eyelets to where the openings are on the book, and then I covered the back sides of the covers with polka dot paper. I am doing more of like a candy themed circus themed in my book, birthday cakes, because my birthday's this month, but just different, also some summer paper, just paper that I had around. I did include Alice in Wonderland because I don't have any pictures to document this, but one of the stories that I want to include is I started babysitting, I think about 8th grade, and my babysitter introduced me to a whole world of Country Living magazine, Anna Green Gables, Alice in Wonderland. So that is something that I definitely want to document because that just still impacts my life today. Those things, I remember I just flipped through and loved Victoria magazine and Country Living. And this was, when I was 14 or 15. And so I really, it is something I want to document, even though I don't have any photos. So anyway, so that just kind of gives you an outline of my journal that I'm going to be using. And then I'm going to see if I can get this to move over where you can see this a little better. So actually, let me see what I can do here. Okay, so as you can see, this is a corner of my desk, and this is basically, this is a little suitcase that I had. I've decorated it up. I've had it for a while, but I have this all set up, and I just basically put a lot of supplies in here that I plan on using. And then I also have some supplies over here like my markers, and of course, let me show you guys so I can move you over there. I have lots of the paints that I'm going to be using. My glue, my tape runner. And so that kind of just gives you an idea of my setup here on my desk. So with this one, I really feel like if I wanted to, I could grab this and move it to the kitchen table, which is a lot of places that I journal at and play around at. And then I also have, I know my husband probably loves this in my family, but I also have a card table set up that I use in the living room. But that's another story. Okay, so I started working on her. She's so cute with her little cotton candy, and that was just something that I was working on. But I have my stapler in there. Now, a lot of times I have lots of ribbons and things like that I have not included in here, just because this is just going to be kind of my go-to that I really do want to use in this series, because like these are some of the packets that I've had from past CWR kits. I absolutely love this birthday one, and so I really do plan on using a lot of it because it goes with the theme of the book too, of pinks and purples and confetti and polka dots and things like that. This is a cute little pouch that's from my scissors fell out, from Precious to Me. Oh, let me get it in here. Let me move down just a tad. There we go. So did y'all see this? It might have been off camera because I didn't look and see what was going on there. But this is a little pouch that I got from Precious to Me and one of her kits, including this cute little balloon. But I just put some of my favorite pins. Oops. I gotta make sure I can keep this in there for you guys. So these are just some of my favorite pens that I'm going to be using for documenting. I mentioned these in my supply list. This is the micro pen for outlining. I use a real thin, I think this is 0.5 black fine point pen. Just some different things in here that I plan on using. This is a cute little festive one. It's a fine point pen too for documenting. And then of course my Le Pens. But these are just basically some of my go-to pens that I'll be using. I think there's a glue stick in the bottom of this as well. I also have, let me move it back up. I hope you guys don't mind me. Let me see if I can move it in just a tad. These are basically journal packets that, let me move it back a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this, but these are just really full of ephemera, and these are packets that I carry these everywhere. So they have a random packs in here that I can use. I know I put a summer one in here earlier. Oh, and here's one that has a lot of the festive colors that I plan on using. There's a toilet paper roll in there. But this is, I think these are the ones by Chamel. Very colorful, so I know I'll be using several of those, and there's lots of cameras included. But these just have some journaling cards. that can go along with it. But I kind of like make these up just to have on hand anyway. And I'm constantly adding things to these little packs just because they're easy to move around, and you can put them in, take them with you wherever you go. So those are always fun to keep on hand anyway. I have these felt stickers. They're foam stickers. I also like the gold ones that they have that are actually on sticker sheets, and I have those in an album. But I thought these were perfect because they're so colorful and very inexpensive at Hobby Lobby. And I've had those for a while, so I just put those in there to use. I had these from a kit that I purchased, years ago, and I thought that might be kind of fun to include because they're kind of circus themed. I have this popcorn container, and another thing to keep in mind, you can find a lot of this stuff like printables wise. Let's see if I can move this back just a tad. I guess that's it. These are I found this. This was actually one that I had for Brad's birthday party. Excuse me, just one second. Oh, had to get a drink. This is one that I had for Brazos' birthday party, and I'm actually going to make a fold out on this. I haven't quite figured it out, but this is one of the interactive pages that I will be showing you on, excuse me, online. I have flare pins that my friend Tammy sent me, which I had some already and I love them, so she thought she didn't like them, so she sent them to me. This is a little Happy Mail that I got, and it has some really sparkly stars and little just different cute little things that I want to use. Little with tabs. They're tabs, and I want to use them in my kit, so I put those in there, so I have those available. Now this is where, let me move this back over here so that you can see what exactly is in here. Okay, so this is one of those little kind of like coupon keeper type deal, and basically what I did was I broke down each day in the pictures that I plan on using. So I had originally started out on a sticky note. I took a couple photos that I had, and I started out on a sticky notes like what exactly it is. So, but then I decided to do this printable, and this is basic. So to kind of give you an idea what I wrote down, this is a photo of our deer lease that my dad had, and who is it family. And in the particular picture, this is my sister and I, and my sister, my dad, and my uncle. But so I kind of just wrote the information in there, and basically under the what, I kind of put in there, what do I want to document about? I want to document a lot of picnics, a lot of Sunday drives going up there, a lot of camping memories, swimming. I didn't put swimming in there, but I did add that down at the bottom. When most of our childhood, where in Bertram, Texas, why. I didn't really have anything to really write in there. So again, even though you don't fill out all this, you kind of can just touch bases on what you really want to talk about. And then my sense that I'm going to be using is sight. So my plan is to draw a map, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that. That's tomorrow. And I'm going to just draw a map and kind of do a sight of what the picnic grounds look like. And so, and then what was my favorite thing about this event or this particular place, and it was that when we got to go swimming, which they had a swimming hole at the end. And so I want to include all this in the outline of in my map, and also my journaling. So anyway, so that kind of gives you an idea of what I did. So each pocket in this one, I included the different senses and things that I'm going to talk about in here. Now, there's also a bunch of pictures in here that just kind of have their random photos. Y'all want to see something hilarious? My softball picture, isn't that just nice? And the raccoon on my head. I plan on including some of those things that they may not actually go into one of the categories of senses and all that kind of thing, but it's going to be like kind of like the documentation of Alice in Wonderland summer babysitting. So again, I'm going to kind of talk about it throughout the whole project this whole week. So that will be one of the random photos that I include. So the next thing is this I wanted to show you real quick before we wrap it up here. And this is the actual video. My glue lid came off. This is the actual, what I was talking about. I did printables. Since I was doing Raggedy Ann and Andy, I printed these out. And I mentioned all the shops on that sheet. This I think was Country at Home. But these are just shops that I found on Etsy. Oh, this is Country at Heart. She's adorable. So anyway, I just found those on Etsy. I buy a lot of printables from Calico Collage. She has so many cute ones. This is a fairy one. And then, of course, KB and Friends, which I know a lot are familiar with us. But I thought, oh, look at her making her little cake. These are adorable. So, oh, this is when my printer started acting out with the coloring. But anyway, so just keep in mind that if you're looking for some themes, that can definitely be something that you use as well, is some printables. But again, please, please, please use your stash. I know you guys have a lot of it. And again, you can punch, you can paint, you can do all the things. So, all right, well, that wraps up this first video, and I'm looking forward to a great week. And please leave any messages below. I'll be happy to answer any questions, and also if you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. All right, you guys, have a great day.